Hello and welcome to another episode of Mike and Dave's Hi-Fi Riff. I'm Mike Evans.
And I'm David Price.
And David, on this week's riff, what are we going to do?
Well, we're going to play a little game, Mike.
Are we? Okay. So, that doesn't sound dodgy at all. You've got a Tesco bag.
Got a Tesco bag.
Okay.
So you can see that, this has really been beautifully well prepared.
Well thought of.
I'm going to hand you things and you've got to tell me what they are.
Okay.
So,
look at that.
You know what that is?
I do. It's an Cassette.
Brilliant.
Another beautiful format that sadly
Yes.
died, along with gorgeous things like minidisc and 8-track.
Glad you mentioned minidisc. Thank you for the support.
Okay, there you go. There we go.
So.
Cassette. I love Cassette. Have you got an Cassette player?
No. Not at the moment.
No, okay. A very lovely reel-to-reel spool. Look at that.
Yep.
Ah, that's mine. Look at that.
Yep.
One-on-one.
Indeed.
Live on Radio Oxford.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Found it.
Does that mean you've done a recording of it
No.
for me? That's why I gave it to you.
Do it for your Aiwa.
Okay, very nice. Look at that Sony cassette. Okay, there's a pattern emerging here.
Yes.
I'm getting it already. I'm getting a vibe.
Okay.
There's a pattern emerging here.
How about that then?
Oh, no way. I was looking at one of these on eBay. It's a Casio. Can I take it out?
Yeah, of course.
It's a Casio Melody calculator.
Yep.
I used to have one of these.
Yep.
That is a thing of beauty.
Yeah.
Look at that. And an operation guide.
Yeah.
I used to have one. In fact, I wonder if... Oh, gosh.
It doesn't work. The battery's just gone.
Oh, has it? Gutted.
Sadly.
Gutted. That's beautiful.
Yep. Just show that to the camera.
Yeah,
Mike,
sorry. Casio ML90.
Yeah, that's cool, isn't it?
That is off the scale cool.
So,
Yes. These. Do you know what? They're quite expensive now.
are they?
Yeah, they are.
Mm.
They are.
Okay.
Yeah, sad to say.
So,
Oh, a single. Okay. Donna Summer.
mm-hmm.
It's in Japanese. I can't read it.
Yep.
But
MacArthur Park.
MacArther Park. Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. Of course.
So,
There we go. Could it have been I Feel Love? Would that have, am I on the right sort of track here?
not quite, just a little bit after that.
This is like a shrunk version of the LP, isn't it? Because
It
that's
is,
got the
yep.
Space Invaders on the back. Yellow Magic Orchestra. You were always a big fan of YMO,
I was,
weren't
yep,
you?
yep.
Brilliant. Right, okay.
So, another
Okay.
great English techno band.
Okay, Human League.
Yep.
Empire State Human.
Yep.
Okay, right. There we are. Okay, B-side is Introducing.
Yes.
Very
And
good.
There we go.
And this
one
is
of my favourite Kate Bush songs.
Kate Bush, December Will Be Magic Again. You've played this to me before.
Yep.
I didn't even know it existed when you played it to me.
It's great. It was never on an album for some reason or another.
Can I have a speculative guess as to why you bought all of these?
Yes.
You're going to ask me to guess the time
Yes.
space, time
Yep,
period,
yep.
or are they all from the same year?
Of that, can you grab the item over there, Mike, and show the
Also
viewers?
boxed. Also boxed deliberately because the box is a
There we
thing
go.
of beauty.
Now,
Look at
what's the
this.
connection between everything I've shown you and this?
It's going to be the same era.
It is
It's going to be the same era.
brilliant.
And that's not the hard question, is it? The hard question is when is it?
Yes.
Which is probably what I'm going to get wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, do you know what's giving it away for me a
Yeah.
little bit is your calculator here.
Okay.
So I reckon I was in my second year at school when I had one of these. So I'm going to say 1978.
Yes.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Okay, that was a little bit lucky because I nearly went 79.
Well, so everything I've shown you was on sale at the same time that this was on sale.
Wow.
And this was on sale between September 1978
Yes.
and 1980.
Okay, so it had quite a short shelf
Yep.
life.
It was, indeed.
Oh, look at the gosh,
Yep.
heavens above. I don't quite know how to get this out
Let me
without... I might need
So-
to give me a hand here.
Yeah, let's
Sorry about this, everyone. Talk amongst yourselves.
have to lift.
It'll be worth it. Sorry, it helped if I didn't put my hand on it while you were trying to lift it out.
Yeah, we'll
Do that. Oh, wow.
Can I just give you
Yeah,
that?
of course. Yeah. Yeah, there we are. It's a ski slope cassette deck.
It is. No.
Give me the poly.
Yeah.
There we are. Remove that
Take
as well.
all of that crap.
Yeah, that's all good.
So
Look at it. It's glorious.
Indeed.
It's a proper ski soap. I can't believe it. There's another one which we haven't even reviewed yet. This is going to be our, I want to say, third, possibly. We did a Nakamichi, didn't we?
Okay.
I remember. Look at it. Look at the piano keys. Oh, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
An AD-2000.
That's right.
Wow. Oh, and look, you can choose what cassette you want. BASF,
Yep.
Fuji, Maxell, TDK,
Yep.
Ampex,
Yep.
Memorex. Do you know what appeared on my my feed this morning?
No.
This is really funny because this is purely by coincidence. Do you remember Desmond Dekker and the Israelites?
Yes. Yep.
Desmond Dekker and the Aces singing the Israelites. And on my feed this morning was that advert for Maxell where it says, "My ears are alight." Do you remember that?
Yes.
And it said, if you can't hear this, you're not listening on a Maxell or something like that was the tagline.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. And look, it's on here. We get Maxell tapes, TDK, Scotch. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
It is.
That is a thing of beauty.
Yep.
Where's this been hiding?
In my attic.
Has it really? In the Hi-Fi attic?
Just take that off. So, in the Hi-Fi attic.
Glorious. So we got Dobley,
Yep.
bias adjustment,
Yep.
outputs, EQs, bias,
Yep.
tape selectors. That's fun. Oh, look at that! It's got a little slidey window.
Yep.
How you get the cassette in?
It's got a slidey window.
I don't know how to get it back.
Where are we?
Stop eject.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see that? And it took my finger off.
Yep. Well, it's health and safety, Mike. So I'm just showing how you would put that in.
And then you slide that.
There you go.
Oh, it's superb. Yep. Can I eject it again?
You can.
That's the coolest thing ever.
Cassette eject.
Damped.
Yeah.
I'm so useless.
Oh well.
I'm so sorry.
I didn't want that cassette.
I was so excited about looking at the knobs.
So just look at that, viewers. That was one of the best ferric tapes of the era.
And that's a
LH Super.
BASF LH Super.
Chrome dioxide. No, it's not chrome dioxide. It's ferric.
Yes,
actually.
yeah.
So
that's so excellent.
Yeah.
So can I ask? In 1978, how much would this gem set me back?
So this was £200.
Wow.
So that's quite a lot of money in 78. So that could get you a very tidy Honda CB400 Super 4 second hand.
What a great analogy.
Indeed.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Somebody decided to forego the Honda for an Aiwa. Excellent. What about in terms of hi-fi?
Yeah.
So what would a Lin have cost?
A Lin was around 300 maybe 300 quid.
Yeah. So yes.
Yeah.
There you
so
are.
this was a kind of mid-price deck, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it suffered a cruel fate, and the cruel fate was that when it came out in 78, it was the coolest thing, but it was just on the end of the ski slope cassette deck trend.
Okay.
And by 1980, everybody wanted front-loading cassette decks instead of ski slopes, and so it basically went out of fashion.
Right. Wow.
I'm just trying to think of a car example when you had to have something and then no one wanted it anymore very quickly.
Yes.
Most of my car collection.
Well, that's true. Probably almost from saloons to hatchbacks.
Yes.
Wasn't it?
Yes, that's a great idea.
So saloons suddenly went out of fashion a little bit, didn't they? Because you wanted to get more shopping in, and you wanted 5 doors instead of 3 or whatever.
So the Rover SD1 came along, and suddenly everyone wanted a big 5-door hatchback, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly.
And with the seats folding down.
Yeah,
and those were
and the Marina was dead.
Yes,
So yes,
indeed. Well, the Granada Mark II was really old hat when the Rover SD1 came out.
Yes, true.
And then it took about 10 years for them to start getting back into 3-box versions. And you think the Ford Scorpio was a 3-box saloon version of the Granada, wasn't it? 10 years later.
Yeah.
So it's like the fickle hands of fashion, as it were.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
So this was 200 quid to buy new in 78, and everyone was going, wow, it looks like the future, it's space age, it's incredible. And then 2 or 3 years later, it was in Comet for 50 quid.
Oh, that's heartbreaking, isn't it? If you'd bought that for 200 quid, you'd have been so upset, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Gosh.
So, but it was basically Aiwa in this period, kind of, let's say, sort of 75 onwards, really began to establish themselves as a great cassette deck manufacturer. And it was a cool thing to have an Aiwa cassette deck, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah.
So
when we spoke to Tim Jarman about cassette decks, and I mentioned Nakamichi, and he sort of really subtly just said, or preferably an Aiwa. That was his one little sort of throwaway comment, which was just sort of 4 words which spoke 1,000.
Well, Tim's not a huge Nakamichi fan, but
no, but obviously a big Aiwa fan.
A big Aiwa fan. Yeah.
So how does this chap sound?
Yeah. So if you think about it, so here's a bit of I'm going to do my Arthur Negus kind of his Antiques Roadshow moment here.
Very good.
If I may,
please.
So
you can do that. I'll have a swig of my beer.
You have a swig of your beer.
My Moretti, right? And talking about old things. Cheers. Talking about old things. Moretti established 1859 by Luigi Moretti.
Yeah.
Okay. Which sounds very
famous
Italian.
Scottish guy.
Yes, brewed in Edinburgh. What the hell? I get.
How does that work?
I don't know.
Somebody make that make sense.
Yeah. Like Madry's Carling Black Label, isn't it?
It is. It's all very confusing these days.
It is.
So what you can say is that Aiwas in the 1970s were made in Japan,
because it says it on the top there.
It does, yeah.
Although it is a sticker, so you could actually remove it, and probably underneath it says Denmark or something.
Yeah, Taiwan.
Yes.
No, maybe not. So then, by the 1990s, early 90s, Aiwa were doing microsystems being sold through Dixon's, which were made in China, basically, weren't they? And the sort of the magic hallowed Aiwa brand, which was so cool at one point, had been really devalued or even ruined, you could say.
Yes.
So, but certainly in the 70s, late 70s especially.
I feel really sad about the loss of the Japanese hi-fi industry. I mean, you've got some of the coolest Japanese speakers you can buy.
Yeah.
Sony, had some fantastic products, didn't they? From amplifiers to CD players to cassette decks. And I'm just gutted they don't, these wonderful brands that aren't still, putting their hat in the ring and making up some really class products. Yeah. I really
well, they're only interested in PlayStations now, aren't they?
I know,
and,
it's sad.
Tellies and stuff or whatever.
Yeah. Yes.
But this was a time when the Japanese basically took cassette as a format really seriously and really drove it. So it's really interesting that Philips, when they launched cassette in '63, were very, basically it came out as a dictation medium, as you know.
Yes.
And then there was some kind of messing around, and then Philips wouldn't license the format to other manufacturers, so it didn't really take off for a long time. And then suddenly there was a kind of agreement by Philips to basically make cassette open source, and that sort of happened in the late 60s, early 70s. And then the Japanese took it up because it was a very compact format, and they love small things, in cassettes or TVs or radios or whatever. And suddenly there was a massive explosion in cassettes in the early 70s, of cassette decks. And Philips carried on making their own cassette decks, obviously, but the Japanese really took it off. And, JVC, Sony, all these, companies, Pioneer and so on, Nakamichi as well, with the 1000 and then the 600 in the mid-70s, just began to turn cassette into a respectable hi-fi format. And this is basically an updated Aiwa AD1250, which had standard VU meters. This has got peak meters. And this
Which do you prefer?
I like the old VU meters, but I'm a 70s throwback.
These remind me of a CB radio I had from Amstrad, which had digital peak meters.
Yes.
Do you remember those?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what was your handle again, Mike?
Beer can.
Just says it all, really, doesn't it, viewers?
Okay. So go on then. What was yours?
I can't remember.
I can.
Okay. Anyway, moving swiftly on.
You can remember.
Moving swiftly on. This is it's getting silly now. This is an absolute deck of its time. It's it's a Sony machine inside. It's a TC118
No.
in drag, but in much better drag or clothes than the Sony machine was. And I think it got to about 15 or 16 kilohertz, which for a cassette deck of this era was great, because the early 70s cassette decks, the high frequency on those cassette decks struggled to get past about 12, 13 with ferric tapes. So this was like a really high performance model of its time. And but it's pre-metal. So doing the Arthur Negus thing, you've got chrome, ferrochrome, and ferrite.
Yes, yeah.
And so within a year of this appearing, then metal tape had been launched.
Got you.
So basically, if you didn't have metal tape, it's like having Apple CarPlay on a car,
Yes.
If it doesn't have Apple CarPlay, it just doesn't exist anymore.
No,
it's
sure.
of no interest to anybody.
Yeah,
and nobody wants it anymore.
Interesting.
So having metal on a cassette deck from about 1980, 81 onwards, no one would buy it if it didn't have that. Even if people couldn't afford
or didn't have metal tapes.
Or didn't have metal tapes.
No, sure.
Because they were like
Sure.
8 or 9 quid, weren't
Yes,
they?
yeah.
And ferrics were like £1 or £2, weren't they?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yes.
So, so this cassette deck was kind of a victim of changing fashions and changing technology. It's a mid-70s deck dressed up in a kind of more kind of space age, like Space 1999 styling.
It is.
With a fancy fluorescent peak meter, and
Sort of chrome finish.
yeah, it's really nice, and it's well made. It's
It is.
quite heavy, and it just died because it fell out of fashion.
It probably sounds really good.
It doesn't sound bad at all.
No,
Yeah.
no. I
So,
can believe it. I can believe it.
So such was the fate of so many cassette decks. Nakamichi 600, which we've done on Riff as well, went the same way. The Yamaha Ski Slope, the TC 800 went the same way. It's just dead as a dodo because no one wanted this kind of style.
Isn't it sad that people decided that they wanted sort of flat black boxes instead, which are all the same size, all uniform, and all look pretty dull and boring, to be honest. I love this sort of hi-fi in the same way I like the Nitec calculator amp, CA252, which is just the coolest bit of hi-fi amp ever, isn't it? It looks like a little cash register.
But as a kind of audio archaeologist, it just shows you how fickle fashion was in those days. And these days we wouldn't really bother if we, if we're buying a streamer or something or a DAC or it's not. The styling doesn't absolutely make or break it.
No, most of the time you hide it away, don't you? If it's a streamer, you don't really need to see it. You've got your remote, or it's on your app on your phone, and that's how you control it. And if you can't see it, it doesn't matter. But with something like this, which is so hands-on, I think it's wonderful that it's such a beautiful piece of equipment. And I really do.
So there we go, a blast from the past, from the very late 70s, and basically it was kind of cancelled effectively by 1980-81 and ended up in the bargain basement bin.
Can I draw a little bit of an analogy of equal sadness? So if you wanted to do a calculation now on your, say for example, I don't know, work out a percentage or something. You'd do it either on your phone, or you'd sort of type it into your laptop or your computer, wouldn't you? And it would, or you could ask, a Alexa or something like that, what it is, and they'd tell you. And that sort of made these redundant as well, isn't it? And it's funny. I love pocket calculators.
Yes,
I think there's something really charming about them because we grew up with them. We both had Texas TI-30s,
we
didn't we? And they're just absolutely beautiful. And to make it so that to want to buy them, you put a little tune thing in, and you can play songs on it. I just think is mad. Or Space Invaders on some of them, or whatever it may be, to try and make you buy this one over another one. I think is absolutely lovely, and I'm just as thrilled with this as I am with the Aiwa cassette deck. And it's funny, we've kind of lost that lovely quirky tech, haven't we? Almost.
I think that's so true because these days, because smartphones basically do everything, and they're way more powerful than any computer, any mini or mainframe computer even from the late 70s. Why have calculators? Why have cameras? Why have audio players?
No, quite.
Why have video?
Why have
cameras?
a watch when you can have a smartwatch?
Whatever,
and all those things.
So
there's something lost there, I think, isn't there?
Because our generation kind of were obsessed with all these little gadgets. That
Do you know the other thing we were quite obsessed with was pens?
Yes.
I mean, I remember. I don't think at school. I think I only wrote with a fountain pen.
Yeah.
Because it was probably very uncool at the time because there were ballpoints in that day and age, and even fiber tips and so on. But I just loved writing with a proper pen.
Did you have a Parker 25?
I had a Parker 25.
I
there we
did
go.
too.
And also, I remember changing the nib and putting an italic nib on it to try and make my writing look even cooler.
Yeah.
And you take
more.
It just smudged more. But you take a little bottle of ink into school with you, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And that's lost, isn't it? There's something lost.
You have that kind of fountain pen attachment you could
That's
put in
you
it.
Squirt
and
the ink
you
in.
stick it in and squeeze the ink up.
Yeah,
and
yes.
You also had cartridges as well, ink cartridges.
which you'd screw in and...
It just must sound like kind of Victorian people talking about gas lamps to the younger generation.
No, absolutely. But it's
Parker 25s were cool. They weren't they?
Really cool.
They're kind of almost the pen equivalent of this, I think, or of that calculator.
But there's something lost, isn't there? When we're now streaming and typing and
you don't need pens
looking
anymore.
at a calculator on your phone. It is a bit sad. But there we go. On that sad bombshell. Thank you for bringing that over, and all the other bits which came with it. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And we will. It's nice to do a retro riff. We haven't done a retro riff for a while.
Yep.
So brilliant. Okay, and thank you so much for watching. And we'll very much look forward to welcoming you to the next one. Thanks very much.
Bye.